Hello there. I'm gonna be so real. I do not think I have time to finish the video that I had planned for this month. So instead, you're getting easy to make fun stuff instead. I'm making more fan cards. Oh boy, I really hope my audience likes Yu-Gi-Oh as much as I do, because I sure do. These are like cards for the same decks that I was talking about in my last video about the topic, that being Shining Sarcophagus, Metalmorph, and of course, Earth Machine Pile. I already made some cards for Shining Sarcophagus. These two I made are not going to be... Honestly, most of these are not as in-depth. These are just like more for fun theory crafting stuff, but, you know, it was, you know, yeah, just doing it because I can. So, something that I had on my mind when I was done with the original batch of cards for the Shining Sarcophagus one series that I made, I was kind of thinking, oh, I already made like Slifer. I might as well make Obelisk and Ra, so like, why not? I did not put as much effort into them as I did with Slifer, mostly because I rushed these cards, because again, I have like very limited time to make this video. But I think it's fine. I didn't really know what to call him. I just ended up calling this one like Obelisk the Divine Soldier, because like apparently its actual Japanese name is the Divine Soldier of the Obelisk. So it's like, this is the thing with the Japanese names of these monsters, like they are like the Divine X of Y, and the only one that kept that in translation was Ra for some reason. Like, the only difference in translations, they took out the word divine in its name. Like, that's it. Even in the manga, like, their translation of it was God of the Obelisk. So, like, they are, like, avatars for these gods instead of actually being them. I'm not here to debate that. Like, this is a tangent. Let me get to the card. It is literally the same stats as Obelisk. Here it says, requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated when normal summon cards and effects cannot be activated. So it's essentially an Egyptian god. Ra does the same thing. I'll read it for punctuality, but like, yeah. So the most unique thing about Obelisk was that it had like some built-in targeting protection. So if I'm going to make this like a somewhat better version of him, but like obviously not treat him as Obelisk, so it's a little more, it can't just be like a strict upgrade. This is what I came up with. Neither player can target or destroy this card with card effects. So it's safe from Gandora. Anyway, once per turn, during the end phase, if Shining Sarcophagus isn't on the field, send it to the graveyard. I probably should have said this card. You know what I mean. You can only use each of the following... Wait, I miss... Oh no, I mistyped it. God damn my copy and paste habits. Fuck! Okay. It's supposed to say you can only use the following effect. I copied it from each of the following effects. So it's meant to say you can only use the following effect. Of Obelisk the Divine Soldier once per turn. You can target 2 other monsters you control, destroy them, and if you do, destroy as many other cards on the field as possible. Then you can add up to 3 of your banished cards with different names that mention Shining Sarcophagus to your hand. I kind of realized when making it that it feels pretty redundant considering Gandora, but that's just kind of the effect that he had. I kind of wanted to be like, not destroy as cost, but you need to have them like on the field in the first place in order to be able to activate. That way it's like you meet that condition, then you do other things. It would still miss timing on stuff like Yubel and whatever, but well, not to say you would play this with Yubel, you could, but I don't know. It was my way of like, oh, like instead of tributing, like even. By the way, if it's not clear, I'm designing this in mind with like the fake support I gave it. So like if you haven't seen that video, definitely watch that to get more context for this. Thinking about it now, it would probably have been better to like, because like the original Obelisk was destroy all your opponent's cards. I did it where it destroy all cards on the field because, you know, the sarcophagus and all that. But perhaps maybe instead it could be send all cards from your opponent's field to the graveyard. And the recovery thing, like yes, adding 3 more cards from banishment might be a little insane, but this can recycle back a used up turn silence, which I think would be nice, as well as, like, you know, other cards that would need to be banished for their effects to activate, and of course Gandora, you know, like, of course. That's just kind of where my mind was at. I wanted to give him some utility that wasn't just Gandora again with extra steps. So hopefully that makes him, like, act as a neat alternative option. I don't know, man. I really did not know what to do with him. He's just so simple of a monster. I didn't really know what else to do. Yeah, that's Obelisk. After that, of course, we had to do Ra. Again, I really didn't know what to do with the name for this guy, so I just called him the Blazing Phoenix of Ra. Once again, same stats as Ra. So I know an annoying thing about the original Ra is that it couldn't be special summoned, but I kinda found a way to, like, make it so it's not easily abusable, but also make it so that it could still, like, function for the sake of the deck. You'll see why. Cannot be special summoned except by its own effect. So yeah, we'll get into that later. Requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated. So there you go. Yeah, it's just more of the same with that. It is a god card. Once per turn, during the end phase, if Shining Sarcophagus isn't on the field, send it to the graveyard. Yeah, send this card to the graveyard. Yeah, it's the same effect. It's essentially, like, similar to, like this is the thing, is like with these 3 cards, is that they can only work with Shining Sarcophagus, because otherwise they just get sent. Obviously, the most annoying thing about Ra is that its original on summoning condition mixed with its other effect just did not work at all. It's like you're either giving it a shit ton of attack points or you're using it for removal. You can't have both unless you have some really stupid aroma deck build or something. I don't know, man. And of course, that's not including, like, the other support that Ra got eventually, but I digress. My solution was essentially in the same vein of, you know how, like, Merrick's whole shtick was like, oh, I can switch between having my life points or the attack, and I could, like, take the attack back to give myself life again. That kind of thing. That was kind of the inspiration for this effect. This card's original attack and defense is equal to your life points minus 100. It's supposed to say minus 100. It got cut off when paragraphing. Thanks, card maker. So yeah, essentially it is, like, equivocally, like, spiritually the same effect, but it also makes it, like, equivalent to, like, the Fusion Exodia, or, like, the Wicked Avatar, I guess, where it's just like, it's just always going to be, like, probably the strongest thing, like, you got, unless you're, like, really fucked up in the duel at the moment. And of course, still got that effect where, well, of course, you can only use each of the following effects of the Blazing Phoenix of Ra once per turn. Still got that effect where you can pay 1,000 life points, then target 1 card on the field, destroy it. I made sure to make that a once per turn, simply for the fact that you will still have life points left, and you could just spam the shit out of that, and I do not want some FTK bullshit out of that. But yeah, I think, like, 1,000 life points to destroy any card is fine. It also, like, acts as a nice cost for its strength as well. And of course, like, if I left it at that, it would be kind of boring. I wanted to incorporate some aspects of its Phoenix form into the effect. I didn't really know how I could incorporate Sphere Mode. If you can think of anything, let me know, but I'm not touching that. Maybe you can, like, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, and you control a monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus, or something like that. Except a divine attribute monster. Maybe something like that. Like, it could do something like that. I don't know. But I didn't want to do that shit. But it like, take it or leave it. That was just like something you could do. But in terms of incorporating the Phoenix portion into its effect, this is where its special summon condition comes into play. During the standby phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you control Shining Sarcophagus and have a monster that mentions it on the field or graveyard, so like on the field or in the graveyard, you know, except the Blazing Phoenix of Ra, special summon this card. Yeah, it pretty much like it summons itself. It just summons itself. It's really like DPE if you think about it. Like, you know, from one Phoenix to another. Yeah. I'm gonna be so real, man. I did not like put much effort into these guys, mostly because Slifer is there and is probably gonna be more useful in terms of like actually allocating a lot of resources into a boss monster like that needs 3 fucking tributes. But that's what I got for them. If you can think of anything better, like, I'll take it. It's just like that's just what I thought of. On to other things. I do want to talk about the Earth Machines. So if I was to give a new card to Earth Machines, I knew it would have to be an Infinitrack monster, simply because we have an Infinitrack level 5, 7, and 9. Clearly because of the continuous spell Outrigger Extension, which is meant to work with that, and also Kashtira Arise Heart for some reason. Now, I could do something funny and made a level... Sorry, a rank 3. Rank, we're talking about Z's monsters here. I could have made a rank 3, but... What is up with my hair, man? I don't know what's going on today, but it is just not working with me. Fuck this. I'm hooding up. There, check it. No more bullshit. But yeah, I could have gone with making a rank 3 and, like, going from there. Because something I noticed is, like, the level 7 and the level... I said level again. The rank 7 and the rank 9 have their attack and defense swapped. So, like, if I made a rank 3, I could have had it have the swapped attack and defense of the rank 5, which would have made sense. But I said, fuck it, I want to rank 11. I want to rank 11, and it has the swap stats of the rank 5, because that would be hilarious, I guess. I didn't know what the fuck to call this, so I just had fun and called it Infinitrack Dumb Dozer. Listen, man. Sometimes I just want to have fun. So it has the same effects as the other Infinitrack Deck Z's, where when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach that monster to this card as material. You can only use each of the following effects of Infinitrack Dumb Dozer once per turn. Like skipping ahead, it also has the effect if this card is in your graveyard, you contribute 1 Machine Link monster, special summon this card in defense position. All the Infinitracks have that, all the Xyz Infinitracks have that, so I figured it would be fair to just also give it that as well. As for its unique effect, you can detach a material from this card, special summon up to 2 Earth Machine monsters from your graveyard, including an Infinitrack monster. I forgot the first quotation marks, I'm gonna kill myself. Then you can switch this card's attack and defense. The Infinitracks love attack and defense position changing for themselves, and I get it, it's gear shifting. But instead of actually having to deal with that, I just thought, oh, we just give it the gear shifting gimmick stat wise instead of positioning, because that would be stupid. I made it an extender exclusively for machines and also needing to include Infinitrack monsters. Maybe it would be better as a rank 3. I will not deny that, but I don't know how good a deck like Earth Machine is at making rank 3s. So, I really could not think of anything else. The 7 is, like, buffing its own attack. The 9 is all about destroying shit. And the 5 is about searching from deck. Why not make the 11 recover from grave? And requiring an Infinitrack monster to be a part of that can lead to some fun combos with, like, Anchor Drill or whatever. Like, there are some things you could do with it. Do I think this would make the deck that much better? No. I think it could be interesting, but I do not see it being more than just like a neat little extender that you could potentially go into for certain plays. But other than that, it's like it's just really just there to fill like a slot that I feel like it could benefit from. Now, after that, I was like my goal for this was because I wanted to make the 2 gods and nothing else. I wanted to give 2 cards to each deck, but I didn't really know what else to give to Earth Machine. So I thought about it and I'm like, what would I want? And what I want is more Machina support. So we got Machina Redemption. I took this panel from the manga because I genuinely could not find any other depiction of it from the manga. But yeah, I wanted to include Machina Force on this because I wanted to be a card that could be that could act as Machina Force support, but also not exclusively. You'll see what I mean in a second. I made it a quick effect. Like I hate that Card Maker like has it overlap with the symbol. I don't know why it fucking does that. It pisses me off so much, but whatever. But like if it's a normal spell, I would honestly say yeah, probably more warranted. But yeah, I figured it being a quick play spell would be fine. I don't really see the issue with it not being. So this is what it does. Special summon 3 level 4 or lower Machina monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except machine monsters. So if it's not clear, this is meant to get all 3 of the pieces needed for Force onto the field. Yes, it doesn't get the commander guy that actually makes it so you could go into him. But that's what your normal summon is for, right? He's an Earth Machine. You could get him on field. But of course, something like this could leave you to getting Gear Frame, Unclap Spare, and like one of the other dark guys, I guess. So at the very least, there are like options to go into. And of course, I feel like giving you like 3 free summons would be a little ridiculous without some kind of lock or condition. So locking you into machines, I feel like, is more of a necessary step to like keep this from being abused by anything else. So there you go. You can banish this card and 3 machine monsters from your graveyard. Special summon 1 level 7 or higher Machina monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. You can only use each effect of Machina Redemption once per turn, and only once that turn. I know it's a little annoying to have an effect that's like once per turn and only once that turn. Like, I get it, but I genuinely feel that if you could do both of these effects in the same goddamn turn, it might be a bit much. So, the idea with it is like, yes, you can get your 3 guys out, and then use them for whatever, but then you banish for cost the spell, and the monsters need to make Force, and just make whatever you want from there. Obviously, this can get something like Fortress, Citadel. I'm pretty sure with the way that it's phrased, like, you could even get Ruin Force as well, which, you know, could be funny. It would basically be summoning it the same way anyway. But yes, of course, this would also mean you could summon Force. Now, I don't know if this is a Skyfire situation where, you know, with like Dark Flat Top. Ugh. But yeah, just like that card, it can't actually summon Skyfire without like it having been summoned first already. So like, I don't know, man. Like, whether or not it does work that way is irrelevant, because the fact that you could just like use this to do some shit for free and like go nuts with it is kind of fun. And you know, for a more pure Machina-centric build, I feel like would be fair and warranted. That's what I came up with. I feel like Earth Machine could benefit from something like this, especially considering a lot of the Machina cards have been more consistently being phased out in favor of more generic support. And I want to see them like have like some reason to be like ran again. I don't know. We'll see. Like when those new cards in the OCG finally come to the TCG, we might see more of that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm excited for it. Like, it should be really fun. And now, the Metal Morph cards! We can go over the Metal Morph cards now. So, for me, the most immediate thing I wanted to do was make another Metal Morph trap. Because just having access to Max and Flame Coating, and having them both be hard once per turn, is not much. So, I wanted to give another option for that. So this is what I came up with. Backup Metal Morph. I genuinely did not know what to do with the fucking picture. But apparently, Metal Morph is an SNES game. I was unaware of this. But I said, fuck it, man. Why not, I guess. So, here's what it does. Tribute one face-up, level 5 or higher monster. Special summon one monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, and mentions Max Metal Morph from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. Then, you can equip this card to it with the following effect. The equipped monster is unaffected by your opponent's card effects that are Chain Link 2 or higher. So, a bit to break down with this. First of all, the thing with the way you're about, like, the condition of actually activating this card. When it came to Max Metal Morph, you just tributed whatever requirement there was for the monster that you're summoning, so it would be a level 5 or higher monster of an equivalent type. So, like, Dragon, Fiend, Warrior, you know. As for Flame Coating, its whole thing is, just tribute another monster within the series. So if there's a monster that mentions Max Metal Morph, you can just tribute that. I wanted to use something that would be a bit more generically favorable. And so anything that is a level 5 or higher monster, that way it's still in line with the effects of the monsters, but also can be a little more freeing than just like being type reliant and all that. And then the protection effect is something where I'm like, I was really struggling what to do with that, because, you know, Max Metal Morph, like, it gives you, like, an attack boost, and it also gives you, like, some monster and spell protection. And the Flame Coating gives you a one-time protection against destruction. Okay, fair enough. Where the fuck else do you go from there? And obviously it's meant to be, like, more protection. Like, that's the point of these cards, is to protect you from stuff. And I figured if I wanted to get unique with it, I would have to do something that, like, the other ones don't. So I figured, what about specifically, like, in relation to Chain Links? Now, I don't know if, like, protecting you against Chain Link 2 or higher is too broken. I don't know if that's too good. I feel like for a deck like this, it's not that bad. Maybe it could be, like, 3 or higher, be more balanced, or maybe it would just be like 2 or lower, or Chain Link 1 specifically. I don't know. I cannot say. I think it is a unique type of protection that could work in line with the idea of it. It is like a backup. You know what I mean? Like forcing the opponent in order to go about combos in a certain direction at a certain axis in order to be able to deal with the problem card could be a unique way to try and force the opponent into a very unfavorable position when it comes to certain card effects. However, I would not be satisfied with another Metal Morph trap if that's all it did. So, allow me to cope. This card is treated as Max Metal Morph while face up on the field and graveyard. So like face up on the field or in the graveyard. If your monster resolves an effect that mentions having or not having Max Metalmorph in your graveyard, you can reveal this card in your hand or face down on the field to treat the effect as if Max Metalmorph is in the graveyard.
I fucking hate that I have to phrase it like that because it's so fucking stupid and I hate Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. I genuinely do not know how else I could frame it.
Like, this is obviously meant to combo. This is meant to work with the effects of Metal Illusionist, Zoa the Fiendish Beast, and Red Eye's Metal Claw Dragon. Obviously, like, those effects are determined on whether or not Max Metalmorph is in the graveyard. Like, Illusionist only mentions it just so it can mention it in the card text and it can be searchable by the spell. But it does let you draw a card, which, you know, I'll draw a card. Fuck yeah. Zoa becomes a good fucking card with this card in the deck and really fucking needs it. And then Red Eyes, with the proper setup, Red Eyes doesn't really need this card, but it also kind of does. Like, it would be nice to have. I hate the fact that I have to say it mentions having or not having Max Metalmorph in your graveyard. I hate that I have to phrase it like that, and it's all Zoa's fault. It's all that little bitch's fault, because its effect mentions not having Max Metalmorph in the grave, specifically. It's so stupid. There are many times where it's like, oh, like, you know, like, calling Yu-Gi-Oh! A game for lawyers is a little not fair. But then you get shit like this, and I'm like, kinda. Sometimes there's phrasing on cards that make me go, what the fuck are we even doing with this game anymore? And to cap it all off, you can only activate 2 backup Metalmorph per turn. I don't think it's unreasonable to give at least one of these traps a twice per turn. Look, if Cool Tune can have a twice per turn on their cards, then, like, I don't see what the problem is. Do I think this would fix every problem in the deck? I mean, at the very least, it will fix the most glaring issues. Most importantly, you'll be able to actually summon multiple bosses onto the field. That'd be nice. And for the final card I'm going to talk about, like, okay, listen. Realistically, if I were to actually give a retrain to a monster to be summoned off the Metalmorphs, and if I were to do Bandit Keith again, we all know it would be Barrel Dragon. Maybe Pendulum Machine, maybe Slot Machine. I don't know. But I also don't care. I want Metal Launcher Spider, baby! Give me Metal Launch Spider! Let's go! I just realized I made it a level 7 because the original one's level 7, but I think it should be like 1 level higher, right? So, like, ignore that and pretend it's a level 8. Also, I am aware that using Metalmorph on a monster that is already metalized is a bit redundant. But shut up. This is Yu-Gi-Oh, man. We do shit because it's cool here. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must first be special summoned with Max Metalmorph that was activated by attributing a level 5 or higher machine monster. If you want to be a jackass and say, you should make it so you need an insect, I will gladly tell you to fuck off! Ideally, this also gives you an option to be able to go into it from attributing any of the other bosses as well, so, you know. I gave it literally the same effect as Metal Flame Swordsman. You can reveal this card in your hand, add 1 card that mentions Max Metalmorph from your deck to your hand, except itself, And if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. You can only use this effect of Metal Launcher Spider once per turn. Simple, effective. Like, if they're gonna give, like, 2 of the same effect to Red Eyes and Zoa, then I figured it sharing the effect with Flame Swordsman just feels fitting. That and, you know, the fact that it's really good. I ran into some issues trying to think, what do I even do to make this thing unique and stand out? And the reason for this is because the Red Eyes one negates, Zoa destroys, and Swordsman burns. Like, gradually burns. What else could I give an effect to for? And then it hit me. Shit, I'd have to floodgate them, wouldn't I? So, in terms of floodgating, this is what I figured would be worthwhile enough, but also fair enough. Your opponent cannot special summon monsters from the hand or activate trap cards or the effects of trap cards. Something I noticed is that the deck struggles to deal with trap cards specifically. Like, it's able to handle monsters and spells, like, to an extent, but traps it actually absolutely gets walled off by. So I figured, like, giving it an ability to find a way around traps would be nice. Like, it could be neatly side-decked into something. But, thinking about it now, maybe giving it a lingering effect in which it, like, face-up trap cards on the field cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Or something like that. I don't know. On top of that, just also being a generally defensive monster makes it feel like it could just be, like, pretty good. I'm fine with, like, either of those effects. I don't know if, like, floodgating from, like special summoning from the hand is, like, too much. I know there are some decks that, like, really need that. Like, I know K9 could really use that, or, like, Mitsurugi or whatever. But I also think it's kind of okay. I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe if it's just focused on, like, trap protection or trap restriction, like, either of those could work. I'm not going to be picky about it. All I want is the spider. Please just let me have the spider. And that's it. Those are all the cards I made. Yeah, thank you so much for indulging me with some more random slop while I try to get my shit together. Next video should be coming out soon. It's going to be on another deck, funny enough. I can't stop talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! You can't make me. No, I will not be making fake support for that deck. You can't make me. Fuck off. What deck could that be? Well, you just might have to check in next time to find out. Well, that's a bit of a spoiler.